While I was out inspecting the trails, I stumbled upon something odd sticking out of a beaver dam, a worn-out camera. I figured it was just lost by some hiker or naturalist, so I wiped the mud off and decided to check it out later. When I sat down that evening and clicked through the footage, what I found made my heart race a bit. Among scenes of the forest and wildlife, there were some shocking images I couldn't easily explain. What I saw was so disturbing that I felt I had no choice but to call the police. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. I kicked off my boots, mud splattering across the floor as I entered my cabin. The day had been long, filled with the usual sights of undisturbed trails and chirping birds. Exhaustion clung to me, but the comfortable mess of my cozy home was welcoming. My mind drifted back to the strange find at the beaver dam. The camera needed checking, but first I needed to unwind, maybe with a cup of hot coffee and a good dinner. After settling down and taking in the comfortable silence of my cabin, the camera crossed my mind again. How could I forget? It sat on the counter, coated with dried mud. I was curious, maybe a little anxious, about what mysteries its memory card held. Dinner first, I thought to myself, but the anticipation stirred a restless energy in me, knowing that the camera could hold untold stories waiting to be uncovered. Dinner was simple but satisfying. With a steaming cup of coffee in hand, I plopped down at the kitchen table. The camera was waiting. As I hooked it up to my laptop, I couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement mixed with a tinge of apprehension. Who knows what bits and pieces of forest life it caught? I took a deep breath and prepared myself to click through whatever the camera had recorded. The images were mostly what I expected at first. Squirrels scampering, leaves rustling, and a curious deer or two. But then, something different flashed on the screen. My heart skipped a beat. People, where they shouldn't be, captured in the stillness of night among the trees. What were they doing there? It was strange, unsettling. There was more to this footage than I could figure out alone. Watching the unusual footage got my mind racing, and it was clear that handling this alone wasn't an option. I grabbed my phone and dialed Officer Mills. He was more than just the local cop. We'd known each other for ages. I figured his insight on this might be valuable. Not only was he experienced, but I trusted him completely. There was something about these images that screamed for an expert eye. "Mills, it's Daniel. Found something odd out there," I said. The line crackled slightly as I explained what had appeared on the footage. "You've got to see this for yourself," I added. Mills listened intently, his tone shifting to curious seriousness. "I'll swing by the station," he suggested. "Let's figure out what this is about. Could be nothing, but better to check." His calmness was reassuring. I knew I'd made the right call. Mills sounded intrigued, maybe even puzzled, as he suggested we meet at the station. "Let's have a closer look together," he proposed, and I couldn't agree more. Discussing a plan made a weight lift off my shoulders. "We'll sort this out," I replied, hoping to sound as confident as him. It was comforting to know we'd go through the footage side by side. Cooperation might illuminate what these unexplained episodes meant. As we wound up our conversation, Mills brought up an idea. "How about Erica? She's good with this kind of stuff," he said. "Right, Erica, a friend as well as a nature enthusiast. Her knowledge could be invaluable." We decided to involve her, setting up a meeting time. If anyone could help decipher the meaning of the footage, it would be her. The idea of another set of eyes was encouraging. After the call, I felt a mix of relief and anticipation. Having a plan with Officer Mills and Erica involved gave me hope that more details might surface. But there was also a twinge of anxiety. What if the footage revealed something more sinister than we thought? Whatever was on that camera, we'd get to the bottom of it together. It was a team effort now, and that made a world of difference. The next morning, I passed the footage to Erica. She had a knack for spotting things others missed. "Think you can spot something unusual?" I asked, hopeful. Her eyes skimmed over the images on the laptop as she nodded. "Daniel, there's more to this than meets the eye," she said. Erica's keen senses felt like a missing puzzle piece. I hoped her insight would uncover hidden secrets in those murky frames. We arrived at the station, where Mills had set up a small, brightly lit room for us. "Grab a seat, folks," Mills greeted us, pulling out chairs. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Erica settled in, glancing at Mills as he shuffled some papers around. "Let's dive right into this," Mills said with a nod. Sitting there together, I felt both nervous and ready to uncover whatever those scenes were trying to tell us. Sitting in that small room, we replayed the footage. Each scene flickered by, images frozen in time. We focused on every detail, every angle. Mills leaned forward, squinting to catch anything that stood out. "Can you rewind that part?" Mills asked, nodding toward the screen. "Anything suspicious could be important," he added. We all knew scrutinizing the footage thoroughly could hold clues essential to peeling back this strange mystery. Erica leaned in, pausing the footage at quick flashes and subtle movements. "Hang on, I think there's something here," she said, pointing at the screen. We squinted, trying to catch what she saw. Her determination was clear. Anything could be a clue, and Erica was set on finding it. Mills took notes as he observed the footage. "Maybe we need extra eyes on this," he said thoughtfully. As the footage ended, frustration crept in. We exchanged uncertain looks, unsure if we were getting anywhere. Then Erica proposed. "How about a trip back to the dam? Maybe we find something left behind." Her enthusiasm was contagious. Mills agreed it was worth a second look. Arriving at the dam, familiar memories returned. I remembered spotting that camera here the first time. Erica began taking photos, capturing angles we might have missed before. As we fanned out, we stumbled upon what looked like an abandoned campsite. Mills began digging into old incident reports. "There have been complaints, strange noises, shadows, late-night visitors," he shared. "Nothing conclusive, but enough to keep digging." His instincts were usually right. We kept near the dam, careful not to get too close to the water. A strange unease hung in the air. With little more than new questions, we returned to the station. "Let's see what we've caught," Mills said. Erica uploaded her photos. I looked at the screen and said, "It's all bits and pieces, but maybe they fit a bigger picture." Word of our trip spread quickly in our small town. Kevin, a young local journalist, caught wind of it and approached us with curiosity. "Can we meet?" he asked. I hesitated, then agreed. New perspectives could be useful in piecing together this complex puzzle. We met at a small cafe where Kevin fiddled with his recorder. I explained everything, the dam, the footage, the odd clues. He listened closely, his interest growing. Over coffee, Kevin shared ideas we hadn't considered. As we parted, Kevin was buzzing with determination. Back at the station, Mills handed me a stack of reports. Erica combed through her photos, scanning for patterns. "Look here!" she pointed, highlighting a series of dam shots. Walking the trail again, I reviewed every strange sight. Warped footprints, broken branches. We all sat in a circle at the cabin, the mystery pressing down on us. One moonless night, I noticed strange light patterns dancing across the trees outside my cabin. It felt like an eerie signal, eerily similar to what we'd seen on the Beaver Dam footage. The resemblance struck me. Could this be part of the same mystery? Unable to shake the feeling, I rushed to Erica's. Flashlight in hand, she followed me into the woods, intrigued by the urgency in my voice. We moved in silence, flashlights cutting through the dense darkness. Soon, we found signs of recent human activity footprints, disturbed dirt. Back at the cabin, tension filled the room. "How much risk are we all right with?" I asked aloud. Later, Mills called with troubling news. Local criminals might be connected to the mystery. "We've got to move faster," I said. Erica nodded. We couldn't afford to fall behind. Then my phone buzzed Kevin. His voice was urgent. "Daniel, I've got something big." His findings led to a list of potential suspects, some matching behavior caught on our footage. Kevin urged us to dig deeper. With Kevin's intel, Mills suggested we organize. "Let's get a plan together," he said, scanning the group. Erica was already jotting down steps. Our growing collaboration sparked fresh hope. Kevin's curiosity, Erica's precision, and Mills's experience made for a powerful mix. "We're going to find out what's really going on," I told Erica, and her smile showed she believed it too. It felt like a storm was building while we prepared. "You feel that?" Erica asked, sensing the tension. We all did, but for the first time, it felt like we were truly ready to face what lay ahead. Around our desks, we planned our next move. Kevin would handle press contacts. Erica and I would continue analyzing footage. Kevin, charged with adrenaline, headed back into the forest, the mystery pulling him in. "Let's finally get some answers," he muttered. Tension peaked. Then shadowy figures emerged. Mills quietly radioed Agent Ramirez. Reinforcements were on the way. Our watch turned to coordinated action. Confidence replaced fear. The plan was working. I zoomed in, adrenaline surging. "If this doesn't seal it, nothing will," Kevin whispered. Every frame was evidence. The truth no longer felt distant. We were capturing it in real time. Erica's camera clicked. "This is it," she said. We stood in silence as the truth revealed itself through lens and observation. Years of rumors, fragments, and hunches were finally aligning into undeniable clarity. Relief swept through us as agents moved in, swiftly apprehending the figures at the center of it all. Under the moonlight, resolution took form. "We did it," I whispered, exchanging quiet celebrations with the team. The truth had been buried in shadows. But we had chased it, endured the uncertainty, and brought it into the light. At last, we had closure. The dam's secrets were no longer hidden, and our tangled journey ended with answers.